Well, hi everyone, it's Marcus and welcome to more Zooming in the Jungle Room. I am going all the way over to Perth today where I'm speaking to an Australian music artist. He's fast on the rise. He's doing some amazing stuff. We're going to find out all about him now and his career. Please welcome Jason Ayres. Jason, how are you?
Hey, Marcus, thanks for having me on. Thanks for having a chat with me.
You know what? I've been looking forward to this. So, just so everyone knows, I first came about you, Jason, about a year ago now, just over a year ago, where you opened and you supported for a bloody 80s music icon, world music icon, Billy Ocean. And that was over at the Theberton Theatre, probably one of the last gigs at the Theberton Theatre before they closed down for renovations. Jason, that support show that you did for Billy was just phenomenal, absolutely brilliant. And we connected straight away after the show, I remember. Did you have fun doing that set, first of all?
Oh, absolutely. That's in fact the second time I've toured with Billy Ocean. I think we did 2019. We did about 5 or 6 shows, and then he obviously invited me on for the next time he was in Australia. So I was super stoked to be invited to go over and do some work with him. And of course, his audiences are absolute music lovers. So what a treat to be an artist put in front of an audience that is there for they just love the music. So it was an absolute honor to be a part of it again.
But your set went down amazingly as well. Like I just remember coming out of the theatre afterwards, out of Theberton Theatre in Adelaide, and everyone was just saying, your set was just brilliant. So I mean, your music is amazing and it connects with people great. When you're trying to choose, and I think your set went for about 30 minutes or so, maybe 40 minutes. When you're trying to, choose the set list to complement, Billy Ocean, is that a struggle for you? Do you know how to put that music together that's going to, resonate with the audience?
I think that's been years in the making for me, trying to figure out firstly who I am so I can be authentic. So what I deliver is real first and foremost, because then I can communicate that and connect with an audience.
Yeah.
And then just learning how to put a show together around that to go, well, what's the dynamic of your show? I don't want to be just one of those guys that gets up, sings his songs and gets off stage. I want to stand there and that came out wrong.
Yeah. Whoops. That's a whole other website.
Wow. But yeah, it's more about crafting a stage show that has some dynamics from start to finish, that it feels like the audience experiences the show. They're not there to listen to the songs, they're there to watch as well. So it's a bit of a three-dimensional, maybe even more, a combination of things.
Well, you know what? Something that struck me about your set was that you are up there and you're having fun and you're delivering just really good music that it appears that you do it, for the enjoyment, not to make the money, not to do anything else, but just to have fun and share the love of music. Would I be correct?
You would 100% be correct, because if you're doing this for the money, you are in the wrong industry.
Yeah, these days, my goodness. I mean, is there an industry anymore? I'm not sure.
No, but with all honesty, Marcus, I think when I first started out, the first album, maybe even the second, I was like, I want to write a pop song that gets onto the radio, and I want success, and I want all of these things. And then, you know what? I actually got it. I actually got a song onto the mainstream radio. And I was like, okay, that didn't do it. It wasn't as good as I thought it would be. It was great. But then I kind of went, well, is that me? Is that who I want to write? Is that what I want to be? And I kind of had a rebrand and a rethink and just about who I wanted to be as an artist. And I came out with an all acoustic album where I just didn't care anymore. It went country, it went rock, it went whatever I felt. And that felt more organic and authentic. And then that's when I started really enjoying being an entertainer, being on stage and sharing those moments with people. I'll never forget, I was at a show and I'd stepped into that new persona, we'll call it that, because it was me trying to be, or me being authentic and going, well, let's see what happens. And the show was dead quiet. And I thought, oh, I might have stiffed. It's like, man, that was a bit awkward. Anyway, finished the show, and I got off stage, and there was a queue of people waiting just to say hi, Aslan. I'm like, oh, okay, they're going to tell me how shit the show was. And anyway, the first lady in the front went there. So she said, "Thank you so much." I was like, "Oh, you're welcome." You know, of course, trying to get through the crowd. And she's like, "No, really, thank you." I'm like, "You're welcome." And then she had tears in her eyes, and she hugged me, and she said, "Your song, Here When You Call, or Here If You Call, is was a song that her and her brother had listened to every day for months. He was actually a cancer patient, and he unfortunately passed away. And it was the way that they connected every day. And that's when I realized that, you know, you're making music for other people as well. This all being real and sharing these feelings. I mean, people connect with it on such a huge level that we don't even understand where the songs go. We have no idea. And I think that's when I realized, oh, the audience wasn't quiet because they weren't enjoying. They were actually listening to me.
Yeah,
They were there with me.
100%.
And I think that's one of the moments that just changed. And I went, okay, I'm doing this. I just got to be real the whole time. You know, that's me now.
Look, when I went to see Billy Ocean, I took a darling friend of mine who is my age, but I also took my mum and dad as well, who are obviously, you know, a little bit past my age, because my mum and dad were massive fans, or are massive fans of Billy Ocean, but they were gobsmacked with you. And you know, my mum and dad, I know, in their 70s, and they just thought your music was so brilliant. They thoroughly enjoyed it. So my point is to that I think your music is all encompassing for so many demographics. So you know what, kudos to you, my friends, because you know what, you embrace everyone, and you know what, your music embraces everyone. So brilliant stuff. Hey, let's go back to the beginning. When you were growing up, who were you listening to? Who inspired you?
Oh my goodness. All right. Well, I
Here we
think
go.
I went very deep into the grunge scene. I was all about Nirvana. Yeah, as a teenager, my room was covered in Kurt Cobain pictures. And as time went on, I then progressed into The Cure, The Doors, and then
Yes.
I went even. And then for some reason, I got into Marilyn Manson and a few metal bands for many years until I have no idea how I discovered country music, and I've never been the same since.
So do you describe your style of music? I mean, we kind of touched on it a little bit ago, but do you describe, or do you kind of like pigeonhole your music as, you know, really quite diverse, more so that you're a fusion of the country, of the pop, of the rock, of the grunge, a bit of everything?
Absolutely. I think a broad stroke of the brush would put me in Americana
Yeah.
or, you know, country. Rock is a bit of a bit of a stretch, but it's, you know, I'm leaning towards there right now. I've got a band together working on a new album, and it appears to be more electrified and rocky. I've seemed to have discovered an energy in the music that I want to follow that and see where that goes. And that's turning into more rock country than folk. So we'll see what happens.
Hey, Jason, what was the first big show that you ever bought a ticket for? Big first concert.
Bob Dylan.
Oh, wow. Okay.
Bob Dylan. Okay, I was an absolute fanatic. So
Yeah.
he's the reason that I believed that I could become a musician and a singer-songwriter with just an acoustic guitar and myself.
Yeah.
So I listened
How
to
many
his
years ago was
every.
that?
Well, I can't tell you that because then you might find out how old I am by figuring out when you were last hurt. So I will not tell you that, but I will tell you that I had maybe been playing for a couple of years, and I was just Bob Dylan mad, and I went to go see him, and that was the first one. Yeah.
That's pretty brilliant. Because obviously Dylan is an amazing lyricist, and anyone that's listened to any of your music, and I was just showing you before, I'm listening at the moment in the other room to, you know, the Jason Ayres album, the self-titled Jason Ayres album on Spotify. But your lyrics are outstanding as well. And I think, I mean, like you would know, obviously Bob Dylan is very much known as a poet, you know, with his lyrics. And I believe, you know, that's where you come from with your lyrics also. Just outstanding. It's for someone to actually sit down and listen to someone's lyrics. I think they'll be blown away with sitting down and listening to yours. So, yay.
Thank you. I appreciate that.
Now, hey, let's fast forward to the future, to now.
Yes.
I mean, you're currently doing some support work and, working with Wendy Matthews. How is that show going?
That was awesome. That was last month. We did a WA run of shows with Wendy Matthews, and they were just fantastic. The last time I saw Wendy Matthews live, and in fact supported her back then, was around 11 years ago.
Wow.
So it was amazing to reconnect, to hear her music, to just chat and just experience it all over again. She's still presenting a lovely show. The band was just on fire. We did some of the coolest, most intimate venues in WA.
Yeah.
So it was really lovely. And again, the audience that were there, they treasure her. She's a treasure. So the audience was just, from the minute they sat down, they were just watching and just loving every second of the whole night. So it was a pleasure to be a part of that one.
And I mean, like, seriously, her music is timeless. To hear her do The Day You Went Away, it hasn't skipped a beat, I mean, because, wow, did that come out like 20 years ago? I'm not sure, but it'd be something kind of like that, definitely in the 90s, maybe even older than 20 years ago. But, that to hear her do that song now, has not changed a bit since, when it first came out. I mean, her voice is just like butter, absolute butter.
Even better than it was. I agree. I think the only thing with some of the albums that were released 20, 30, 40 years ago, I mean, the difference now is you get to hear them, maybe the recording techniques make them feel a bit dated.
Yeah.
But hearing them live with a rocking band, and it's just kind of wow, that you realize the songs are themselves timeless,
Outstanding.
So yeah.
Somebody that you've seen recently, apart from Wendy Matthews, maybe, but who's someone that you've just seen recently and going like, wow, you know what? You are owning it and you've still got it.
I cannot answer that question because I don't think I've had 5 minutes free to do anything.
Everything's been about your career just recently because you're booming. Hey, okay, you know what? September the 14th, you're coming to Adelaide. And obviously
Playing at the Gov.
Playing at the Gov, iconic venue, because you're going to be playing with Mr. Daryl Braithwaite. Wow, huge gig. And I'm going to be there.
Absolutely.
Are you looking forward to that show?
I am looking forward to that on so many levels. I've heard so many good things about the Gov. Yep. I've looked at pictures of the Gov to get myself psyched, and I'm going over with Daryl Braithwaite to make some. I'm like, no, this is ticking so many boxes. So I'm really looking forward to it.
Have you worked with Daryl Braithwaite before?
Many, many years ago, but in fact, this week I'm doing 2 WA shows with him. So I get a little bit of a warm up, get to feel out what the night's like. So by the time you see me in Adelaide, the things all the wrinkles will be ironed out, and I'll be ready to deliver.
Woo. Well, because it's Wednesday evening now. So on the 4th of September. So it's literally in 10 days time from now, which is not far away. It's going to be huge. I'm going to be there. And I was just saying to you before we started recording that I was just at the Gov last weekend because we had Electric Six playing in Adelaide, which was a massive, 2000s band with, songs like Danger, Danger, High Voltage, and Gay Bar and Dance Commander. It was a huge night. Like, seriously, nothing goes off like a gig at the Gov. You are going to have the time of your life. Hopefully, after your set, you get to come out in the crowd and actually watch Daryl Braithwaite. I'll save a spot for you, either at the front or in one of the booths. All right?
Done deal. It's always nice to get in amongst the crowd and go, so this is what it feels like to just enjoy a show.
Banging. Okay, so tell me about your new music, because obviously you've been doing a lot of rehearsing recently. What new music have you got on the horizon for us?
No, so the new album touches on a bit of rock, a bit of country, and just me kind of exploring the sonic world of the electric guitar, which for me has opened up just has just exploded because I've always been so caged in with my acoustic. I do acoustic shows. I did an acoustic album, you know, kind of boxed in the folk country. And now I kind of just feel like I'm free to do whatever I want, which I am, and I always have been. But now I'm like, I'm doing it. So I've decided to put a band around me, put a band around the songs, leaning towards a bit more rock. So of course the shows I'm doing with Daryl Braithwaite, I've got my drummer involved, so you can see there's a kit in the background. And then next month I'm doing some shows, and I'll be over in Adelaide again. Woo! With the fabulous Caprettos. Yeah. And that is Dave Gleason, Ray Thistlethwaite, Russell Morris, and Jack Jones in a super group performing songs. And the WA shows, I'll actually be performing as a band, playing some of these new rock tunes and a step towards the new album, which should be out next year. But I'll probably be drip feeding, you know, a single, you know, and then a single here, a single there over the next few months before the big launch and the big tour and the big hurrah, which I will definitely see you over in Adelaide again.
And hopefully you're going to be bringing out some of, you know, that new music on vinyl as well, please.
Okay. Well, I'll have one specially made for you.
Me too. I love collecting my vinyl. But I mean, the fabulous that show that we're just talking about at the Norwood Town Hall, I believe.
Fabulous Caprettos.
I mean, like, we've got some major artists. I mean, obviously there's you, but when you're talking these other names, there's, you know, we've got Jack from the Southern Sons, Dave from, oh my God, give me a hand here.
Screaming Jets.
Screaming Jets, there we go. Sorry, I had a mental blank. You know, obviously Ray from Thirsty Merc, major, you know, big.
So, and of course, Russell Morris with so many
production.
And Ray Thistlethwaite, I mean, what an absolute local legend. He's now playing with Sammy Hagar in America.
It's just insane. Like, yay, Australian music stars, because, like, you know, we've got some really, really good stuff going on.
Absolutely.
I just can't wait to see what you're going to be doing, because you know what, your music is resonating. When you bring out this new music, it's going to take on a whole new life. And I can't wait to sit down and catch up with you when you're in Adelaide, only in about 10 days' time. Please, let's do something, right?
It would be great. It would be great. And yes, I think I have a really good feeling about where the music is going, because I'm no longer trying to control so much. I'm going, well, let's just let it breathe. And that has been so liberating, not only for the creation and songwriting, but for the opportunities that seem to be popping up all around the place. So I'm excited to see what happens next.
Jason Ayres, we are going to be seeing you at the Gov Festival on September the 14th. And obviously then you're back at Norwood Town Hall. What's the date for the Norwood Town Hall gig?
I believe that is the 10th of October.
10th of October. Oh my God, we're not going to be able to keep you out of Adelaide. I hope you've got your passport ready, mister. Because we're going to be having some fun. Thank you so much. Jason Ayres, everybody, please get onto him. He's on Spotify. You know, he's all over the place. Make sure you're following his music. I will obviously put all of his Facebook tags, Instagram tags in this post. Follow this man. He's doing great things. And Jason, I will see you September the 14th, just over there at the Gov.
Just over there. Cool.
Just over there. Just over that way.
That way. Okay, good.
Yeah. Thank you so much, my friends, and I'll see you in 10 days.
Thanks, Marcus. Thank you. See you soon.